So this is the second River 2 power bank EcoFlow have sent me, and this is a top of the River 2 range. If you've been debating getting a power bank but you don't want a huge one, but you still want something with a bit of useful power, this may be the one that hits that sweet spot. Now, I've already reviewed the EcoFlow River 2 Max, and the video links will be in the description below. The River series of EcoFlow power banks are the more portable and more affordable range of power banks. Now, the usual applies here. They're not paying me to say anything nice, but this does count as a paid promotion under YouTube rules, as EcoFlow have sent me this free for review. All the links will be in the descriptions below, so please do check them out. So as before, in this video, I'm going to show you what came out of the boxes. I'm going to look at the controls and the screens. I'm going to look at the specifications, the weight and size of the unit. I'm going to tell you the price. I'm going to show you what it can power and what it can charge. I'll tell you how I used it, and I'll tell you what I like and what I dislike about it. So what do you get in the box? Well, there's a little manual. You get an AC cable, a car charger cable, a DC 5521 cable used for some small DC appliances. You get a card to register for a 5-year warranty. A little bit about safety of these EcoFlows. The River 2 series is the first portable power station in the world to earn the TUV Rheinland Certification for safety, and with its high safety standard, the TUV Rheinland Certification means that security and reliability of your River 2 is guaranteed. So let's have a look at the controls. So to operate it, you simply press the on-off button. To switch the mains on, you press the AC button. You said, yeah. And to charge it from USB, you simply plug something in. There we are, charging. You've got an LCD screen that shows the remaining battery time, the remaining charge and discharge time. You've got lights to show which outputs and inputs are on. You've got high temperature warning, fan running, overload warning. You've got an app. Yes, so you've got an app, and that shows you available time remaining, what percentage you've got left. On the inputs, it shows you if it's charging or not. On the outputs, it tells you what's switched on. So I can switch the AC on or off, switch the DC on or off. It tells you what's charging on the USB-C and what's charging on the USB-A. There's a settings menu up here, top right hand corner. Gives it, and you can give it a name. You can share it with others if you want, if they've got the app as well. You can change the AC charging speed, so if you don't like it charging too fast, you can slow it down here. We'll leave it on fast charging. You've got the car input, so if you only have a 4 amp input, you can change it to that so you don't damage your sockets. You can say whether you want it to detect DC charging automatically or just solar or just car charging. You've got the X-Boost facility here, on more about that a little bit later. You've got the charge discharge level. You can actually say here, if it gets to say a certain percentage, say 30%, you can say that it's discharged and you want to charge it up. So it will stop outputting power at the set discharge level there. And here you can set it to change the to stop charging at the set charge level there. So if you wanted only to charge it at 50% or more likely just to 80%, you could set it there. So it gives you a bit of safety. You've got the unit timeout. You can say when you want it to switch off, never, or within an hour or something like that. You've got a screen timeout.
screen timeout, and an AC timeout. So when you want the AC to switch off, that might be useful if you want someone to switch off, perhaps lights or something. You can check your firmware's up to date. You've got specifications. It gives you the specifications there, the ones I've given you already. Tells you all that. And it tells you what units to use for temperature. So that's all the settings. But very useful. I mean, you could put it in a cupboard, and if you wanted to power some lights, you can choose whether you want them on or off, or if you want to make the coffee, or you want to switch the coffee on, you can switch the AC on or off. Yeah, very useful.
So the EcoFlow River 2 specifications, it weighs 17.5 pounds, so it's about 4 pounds heavier than the River 2. Dimensions are 270 by 260 by 226 millimeters. It's a little taller than the River 2 Max. Capacity is 768 watt hours, a bit more than the River 2. It's got a LiFePO battery which can be charged an amazing 3,000 times and still have 8% of its capacity. And that's nearly 10 years if you charged it once a day. So it's got a 5-year warranty. It's got an advanced battery management system to monitor voltage, current and temperature. Have a look at the outputs. You've got 3 mains outlets on here, 800 watts in total, and it can go up to 1600 watts with surge and X boost. It's got 3 USB-A's, 1 USB-C, that's 100 watt USB-C. It's got a car power outlet here. A little bit about X boost. X boost allows you to run higher powered devices than the EcoFlow is normally able to handle. And it does that by reducing the power, specifically by limiting the voltage available to the device in question. Now this can work fine for hairdryers and the like. It just means your hair is going to take a little bit longer to dry. But more complex devices like a motorhome fridge will not like the reduced voltage, as you'll see a little bit later. Now there's 4 ways to charge this unit, and charging takes a little bit longer than the River 2 Max due to its larger capacity. It's got an AC input at 940 watts, which will charge 0 to 100 in 70 minutes. Some units will take 5.5 hours. I charge it up from 10% to 100% in about an hour. And you can slow that charging down in case you're a little bit worried about damaging the batteries, for example. It will take a solar input, 220 watt solar input, 8 amps max, and that will take 4 to 8 hours, obviously depending on how strong the sun is. It's got a car charger, which will take a little bit longer. That's about 8.5 hours, so if you're talking about a long journey. It actually got a USB-C charger, so you can charge it from the USB-C. It's also got an uninterruptible power supply facility, so you could use it to power something and keep the power on. So prices. It's £749, and that's about £1 per kilowatt, which is fairly sort of typical. But before I show you how I use it, it would make my day if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you find this video interesting. So let's have a look at powering the motorhome first of all. We'll run the fridge on and we'll put the heating on and we'll make some coffee and we'll dry our hair.
Didn't put that down. Put that down. Switch it on. Here we go. So briefly at 1200 then, but then it went down to 800. I don't know if it's because it's not got enough charge or something. It's 30% charge, but it's sticking at 800. It's not going anywhere near 1000 watts. Yeah, so that's my adapter lead. It's quite useful to have. You can probably find it on Amazon. But it does mean that you can plug into a main socket and plug your caravan into that. Out the window. And into there. Yeah, so it will do 1 bar of electric and charging the batteries for about 20 minutes. Well, that's interesting. I tried to put the fridge on AC and it says under voltage. So is that just because it's stretching it a bit too much? Might be. Right, fridge is running on 240 volts. We're drawing in about 2-3 amps. Fridge, this should be on auto, so that should be okay. So it will run the fridge and charge the batteries quite happily. I think when I put the heating on 1 bar, let's turn it up, get it to come on. There it goes, so it's gone into X boost because it's 800 there. 16 minutes. Okay. So conclusion to that is you can probably run the heating and charge the batteries, or run the fridge and charge the batteries, but not the both of them. For about 15-20 minutes. A 1200-watt hairdryer. It says a 1200-watt hairdryer. Yeah. So let's see what happens. So that's 549, and it's limited to 808. So it doesn't get up to 1200 watts. Yeah, so it limits it to 800. That's with the X boost on. So let's see what effect the X boost has. We'll turn it off. So X boost is off. Okay, so 500. It just cuts out. Okay. So the X boost seems to work up to 800 watts with this hairdryer.
So typical uses is portable power wherever you are, perhaps on the beach or picnics or off-grid, and it will power some higher devices for some short time, as we showed you. So it's not really for home power backup, and there are larger EcoFlows that will allow you to do that. However, it could top up your motorhome batteries for a while, or it could run the fridge if you've run out of gas. I don't know who will do that. You could use it to run TVs, perhaps a CPAP machine or fish tank or something like that during a blackout or when you're off grid. I use it to charge up the laptop if I'm sitting in my armchair or perhaps in the awning. I charge the GoPro batteries, phones, my Volta power handle and charger for my wireless microphones. So what do I like and dislike about it? So first of all, dislikes. Well, it is only an 800 watt inverter, so it won't last a long time recharging the motorhome batteries. I can't use it on my Tassimo machine. There's no USB-A fast charge here. And it would be nice if there was another USB-C port, perhaps. There's no wireless charge, and so you can't put anything on the top. But I'm not really sure that's that useful anyway. I'm still not sure about this handle. It makes it a bit bigger than perhaps it needs to be. Maybe a folding handle would have been nicer. The fans are quite noisy when you're charging it.
Making a little bit of a noise. The fans there. Yeah.
So what do I like about it? Well, it feels solid and well made. Like a lot of power banks now, there's no extra sort of power brick needed. It just plugs straight into the mains. It's fairly lightweight, having said that, and portable, and it's easy to move around. You can use it in the house as well. Easy to store. I can keep it under the bed or even in a wardrobe. It's easy and fast to charge. Really good for that if you forget perhaps to charge it up the night before. Display is really useful. The app is really useful. Price is good compared to other 700 watt hour power banks that I've seen in the past. 5-year warranty is brilliant. So conclusions. So these power banks keep getting better, and EcoFlow River 2 is possibly the best power station I've reviewed around this capacity, and possibly the most affordable. If you're looking for a solution to go off grid for a long time, it's not for you. But if, like me, you only go off grid occasionally, this is a great solution for charging your smaller appliances, cameras, mics, and other appliances. Realistically, it's not going to power your motorhome when you're off grid, but it could be the perfect solution for your motorhome and car travel. And you could take it almost everywhere, and perhaps even as a basic insurance for home backup. So thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful. We'll catch up with you soon. Bye then. Now, I've already reviewed the EcoFlow River 2. The River 2 series of EcoFlows are the most... buddy, stop! I've already reviewed the EcoFlow River 2 Max and the River...